I'm Larry Steinhouse, and welcome to Money Chat Now. Today is Tuesday, November 23rd. And hey, just a reminder, if you're watching online, hit that share button, hit that like button, and of course you can comment live during the show on YouTube and Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter. Hey, hit those comments, let me know you're watching, of course. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and like the Money Chat Now page on Facebook. Money Chat Now is brought to you by Investor Schooling, and you can attend a complimentary class next Thursday, not this Thursday because it's Thanksgiving, but you can attend a complimentary class next Thursday by going to investorschooling.com, and there you will learn about real estate investing and stock options trading from those who do it every day. And you'll even get to see me in a different jacket. So I know if somebody's watching, mostly my number one troll, if she wants to see me in a different jacket, I don't even know if it's a she, it might even be a he, I don't know, anyway, on today's show, we'll be discussing the market update. We're going to be talking about Biden tapping the oil reserves. We're going to be talking about Gestapo Joe again and how he's on the rise again. We're also going to be talking about Zoom falling. We're going to be talking about Apple suing hackers, opioids, and CVS. That's an interesting story. And, of course, the wrap-up. So let's get into it. Let's talk a little bit about the Dow and the S&P and what happened today. So the Dow started out, it was up today. It was up, somewhere like 100, 125 points when the market opened, and then all of a sudden it dropped, and it took the S&P and the Nasdaq with it. But it's interesting because it recovered. The Dow is up 195 points almost. The S&P is up almost 8 points. But the Nasdaq is down 80. But I do have to say it was down pretty bad for a while. It was down almost 200 points for a while. So it's a nice recovery. Of course, once again, my stocks didn't recover. They were all up this morning. Everything was up. BA was up. CCL was up. AAL was up. Everything was up. And sure enough, it all came back down, but we're going to talk about that later. All right, let's talk a little bit about brain-dead Biden tapping the oil reserve. First of all, brain-dead Biden essentially killed most of the oil production in America, and that makes the United States dependent on foreign oil. Are you listening, brain dead? Do you understand how this works? The capitalists in the other countries laughed at him after almost being put out of business by the great Donald Trump. They raised their prices because they knew that they could. Basically, it makes our gas prices increase, and Biden does the brain-dead look and questions why. I wonder why gas prices are going up. I didn't do that. Yeah, you did. You did that. Besides the fact that he's a dumbass for complaining about the problem he caused, he is now going to put a Band-Aid on the problem and kick the can down the road. There's something called the Strategic Petroleum Reserve. So the Strategic Petroleum Reserve is a reserve of oil that started in 1975 after the Arab oil embargo. The oil is stored by certain alliance partners like the United States, India, China, Japan, Republic of Korea, and the United Kingdom. Some time ago, the alliance realized that they may need oil in an emergency if something terrible happened. For real, this is a fantastic idea. This could have been an event such as war. It could have been terrorism, or maybe an outright refusal of foreign oil holders to sell us oil. The actual conditions are as follows: a full drawdown to counter a severe energy interruption. That's probably the most important one that it was done for, was a severe energy interruption. In other words, if they withhold oil again from us, we have some. A limited drawdown of up to 30 million barrels, or a drawdown for an exchange or test sale. So brain-dead Biden has decided to tap the oil reserves for the simple reason as to lower gas prices. Let's make this very clear. When he does this, he may be temporarily lowering gas prices to possibly raise his approval rating, but within months, not only are the prices going to rise again, but they're going to dwarf the current price. Why, you ask? It's simple. The countries selling us oil will now be either acting in revenge and raising prices, or simply the demand will increase, and when the stolen oil reserve is no longer available. So when he takes this oil, it won't be available anymore. So they're going to have to now they're going to have to increase prices just to say, we can. I seriously wonder if they, the Democrats, are really this stupid, or if there's a master plan to destroy this country. It doesn't make any sense to me. What really gets me is the people who can't see this as a problem. Look, I got to tell you, I wrote this story today, and I wrote this story, I didn't look at the internet, I didn't do anything, and after I wrote the story, I went on the internet, and I saw person after person saying exactly the same thing I'm saying. So, I'm no genius here. Everybody else agrees that this is a really bad idea. And I can't believe that others don't see it as a problem. Look, I'm going to tell you right now, this might be a temporary solution to the gas price problem, but the problem is going to be exacerbated beyond your wildest expectations after that. There is, however, the possibility that Trump will get back into office in 3 years and open up the domestic supply lines again, but before that, it's going to get bad. Meanwhile, check this out. The oil stocks all moved up on the news. That's right, Halliburton was up almost 4%, Exxon was up over 3%, and Chevron was up over 2%. Think about that. They're laughing at him too. And oil futures moved up as well. Well, brain dead, it sounds like your plan is already backfiring, dumbass. All right, let's talk really quick about the vaccine mandate once again. So, in this next segment, the part of brain dead Biden will be replaced by Gestapo Joe. That's right, the Supreme Leader Gestapo Joe just asked a federal appeals court to immediately lift an order halting its COVID vaccine and testing requirements for private businesses. His justification, of course, is that the whole country isn't vaccinated and there might be more hospitalizations and deaths. Yeah, maybe. Does anyone remember the concept of 2 weeks to flatten the curve? It was total bullcrap then and it still is now. Hey, Gestapo Joe, my rights don't end where your fears begin. Or should I really say, Gestapo Joe, my rights don't end where your desire to make money off of Pfizer, Moderna, and J&J begin. Anyway, Gestapo Joe is trying to use his power as president to continue to eat away at the constitutional rights of the true American citizens of the United States. If you recall, the unions are also pushing for vaccine mandates as well. The pause in the mandate was issued by the Fifth Circuit Court, and this was after Americans, actual Americans, sued to have this unconstitutional mandate blocked. The other thing that Gestapo Joe has done was to weaponize OSHA with the authority to fine companies and employees who do not comply. I wonder if OSHA uniform is actually brown. Like the brown coats of Germany. Well, Gestapo Joe, I truly hope that this goes to the Supreme Court soon, and there it's going to die as the Republican-led court system will actually vote against it because they understand that the Constitution and the rights of the citizens come first. The vaccine stocks pulled back a little bit today on this news. I believe it's because the money managers understand the unconstitutionality of the mandate. They're also pulling back as the country slowly realizes that if the first 2 shots didn't keep people from getting COVID, why would anyone expect the booster to work? Just wait for that mandate next. Not only do you have to get shot 1 and shot 2, but you have to get shot 3 too. I'm sure the Gestapo Joe administration will need their investments in the pharma stocks to go up, so the 3rd shot and 4th shot and 5th shot will also be mandated. On this note, I got to tell you an interesting story. It's hysterical, right? This morning, I drop off my truck at the dealer for routine maintenance, and the guy behind the counter is a fan of the show and a fan of the Saturday show as well. He was the only one in the room wearing a mask, and I kind of laughed, and I'm like, why are you wearing a mask? I'm surprised. He said, because, you ready? I want to protect myself from the spike proteins being breathed out by the vaccinated people here. By the way, that's not the first time I've heard that. What the heck is in that vaccine anyway? Wow, it's crazy. All right, so Zoom fell today. And by the way, this was an obvious reality. Zoom stock crashed today after it reported earnings yesterday that actually beat expectations. Zoom was down today over 42% and was below 200. Look, I predicted this a few days ago in a stock options presentation at Investor Schooling, but it's quite obvious, actually, as the world starts to realize that government overreach and unconstitutional mandates are going to stop, which will allow people to go back to their workplace. By the way, did you hear that Google actually signed, they have employees that signed a petition saying that they did not want mask mandates and vaccine mandates, and they're right. Anyway, I'm hearing more and more companies opening their doors and allowing the normal business of business to continue. Is there still a place for a company like Zoom? Of course there is. Zoom was around well before the scamdemic, and had fairly good business even then. The scamdemic and government overreach made Zoom an overnight success, but Zoom took off and their stock was almost at 500 at one point, and today, about a year later, it's below 200. Ouch. By the way, I've been saying I like Zoom at about 180, so it may be a time to play that price, but just for now, let's wait and see, because it's not that big of a deal. I think it's a good company, but I think about 180 is right. So let's take a break, and we'll be back in a couple of seconds. Hi, kittens.
Okay, so you've thought about investing in real estate, houses, apartment buildings, properties, but don't really know where to start? Well, what if you could very easily learn how to gain strategies to use other people's money to buy and sell houses in the Philadelphia area? If you could learn and network with successful area real estate investors and how to produce monthly income on rental properties without headaches, that place is Investor Schooling. With Investor Schooling, you'll learn from two Philadelphia area rockstar real estate investors, Phil Falcone and Larry Steinhouse, about how to buy and sell properties the easy way and teach you basic and advanced techniques to help you make money in real estate. You can attend Investor Schooling in person or online visual classes 8 times a month. You can and will learn how to make money in real estate. Call for free information and get a complimentary pass to one of these classes. But don't delay, as these complimentary passes are limited. Call the number on your screen now or visit investorschooling.com. investorschooling.com.
Welcome back to Money Chat Now. I'm your host, Larry Steinhouse. And come on, guys, did you hit that share button yet? Did you hit that like button yet? Let me know you like it. Let me know you're enjoying the show. Come on, I don't want kittens to be the only one watching the show. This is terrible. Come on, let me know you guys are watching it. Let me know you guys are enjoying it. And don't forget to look for kittens at the Investor Schooling site on Facebook or like page on Facebook, and that way you guys can all talk to her. Anyway, we've been discussing the market update, the fact that the market is up 195 points, the Dow that is, the S&P is up almost 8 points, and the NASDAQ is down 80 points, and it did a nice comeback today, so it was kind of tough today. We talked about the fact that Biden is tapping the oil reserves. What an idiot. We're all going to run out of oil. Well, we won't run out of oil, but the price is just going to go up, and it's going to go up more because he's a dumbass. All right, we talked about Gestapo Joe, the other Biden. Same guy, I got it. And him and his crazy mask mandates. He's just an idiot. All right, we also talked about the fact that Zoom was falling, and we're going to be talking about Apple suing hackers. We're going to be talking about opioids and CVS, and of course the wrap-up. Hey, kittens, you might want to listen to this opioid section. This might pertain to you. But first, did you hit that share button? Did you hit the like button? And of course, you can comment live during the show on YouTube and Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter. And of course, I'll try to respond to your comments like kittens. All right. So let's talk a little bit about Apple suing hackers. So I don't know if you remember this, but about 5 years ago, there was a story about a captured terrorist that was plotting to bomb cities in the United States. When they captured the terrorist, the FBI and CIA tried to get access to his phone to see if they could find others working with the terrorist to possibly avoid a major incident. Look, Apple at the time refused to work with authorities, saying they felt it was a privacy issue, and if they could actually hack the phone, it would create trust issues with the users of iPhones. It was kind of an interesting debate. I mean, on one side, I thought it was a great idea. On the other side, I thought it was, hey, look, Apple, get into this guy's phone. Let's stop some terrorist attacks. Anyway, Apple was threatened with a court action and still refused. It turned out there was a foreign firm bragging that they could hack into the phone for our government, and they did. So basically, somebody else was able to do it anyway. Recently, Apple filed a lawsuit against an Israeli firm called NSO Group that sells software to government agencies and law enforcement that allows them to hack iPhones and read the data on them. And this would include messages and other communications. The interesting part of this case is that Apple is making the software sound like it's malware or a virus when it's not. Apple is suing the company to stop making the software available, and Apple also said that it patched the flaws that allowed the NSO Group software to access private data on iPhones. You really don't think they're going to be able to come up with a workaround? They will. Anyway, Apple continued their privacy push with this and the new changes to how Facebook can read their phone for user behavior and target ads. Apple didn't move much on the news today, and the stock was hovering right at 160, so it was doing pretty well today. I still like Apple. I think it's a great play. All right, let's talk a little bit about opioids and the pharmacies. So we're all too familiar with the problems of opioids and addiction. Apparently now, the blame is being shifted to the pharmacy companies such as CVS, Walgreens, and Walmart. That's right. A federal jury concluded that the 3 retail pharmacy chains recklessly distributed massive amount of pain pills in 2 Ohio counties. Lake and Trumbull counties were able to convince the jury that the pharmacies played an outsized role in creating a public nuisance because of the way they dispensed pain medication to their communities. Strange, right? This verdict surprises me for a couple of reasons. First, is this just a local problem? Are these the only 2 counties that have problems with this, with pharmacies distributing opioids irresponsibly? Or is it that all pharmacies do this everywhere? And if so, why aren't there more lawsuits? It turns out that 2 other chains, check this out, Rite Aid and Giant Eagle, already settled lawsuits with the 2 Ohio counties. I gotta tell you, this sounds like a shakedown. Did the people who have opioid addiction benefit from these lawsuits? Or is it just a really smart attorney filing in behalf of the counties to get a big paycheck? That's what it sounds like to me. I leave this mystery to unfold over the next few months, or maybe even years, but here's an interesting piece of information. Check this out. Roughly 80 million prescription painkillers were dispensed in Trumbull County alone between 2012 and 2016. That's equivalent to 400 pills for every resident. I gotta tell you, that's a lot of pills, considering I'm sure that not everyone was taking opioids. All right, let's take a quick break. We'll be back in a minute. We'll be talking about the wrap-up. We'll be talking about some of my favorite stock picks. And, of course, we'll probably come up with some way to make fun of kittens. We'll talk to you in a minute.
Okay, so you've thought about investing in real estate, houses, apartment buildings, properties, but don't really know where to start? Well, what if you could very easily learn how to gain strategies to use other people's money to buy and sell houses in the Philadelphia area? If you could learn and network with successful area real estate investors and how to produce monthly income on rental properties without headaches, that place is Investor Schooling. With Investor Schooling, you'll learn from 2 Philadelphia area rockstar real estate investors, Phil Falcone and Larry Steinhouse, about how to buy and sell properties the easy way and teach you basic and advanced techniques to help you make money in real estate. You can attend Investor Schooling in person or online visual classes 8 times a month. You can and will learn how to make money in real estate. Call for free information and get a complimentary pass to one of these classes. But don't delay, as these complimentary passes are limited. Call the number on your screen now or visit investorschooling.com. investorschooling.com.
All right, welcome back to Money Chat Now. I'm your host, Larry Steinhouse, and I have to tell you, kittens, you're making me laugh. You are just making me laugh. I read some of the comments you make. There's just so many of them that I can't read them all, but you make me laugh, so thank you very much for being my #1 fan. Boy, I got this person, I don't know if it's a man or a woman, her profile or its profile. Maybe it's an it. That's probably what it is. Should I call you them, they, kitten? I guess I got to call you them, they. Anyway, so far we've been discussing the market update, and the market, the Dow is up about 195 points, the S&P is up almost 8 points, and the NASDAQ is down 80 points. It did pretty well for a while. I mean, it was hurting for a while. I came back, which is pretty nice. We also talked about the fact that the dum-dum in the White House just tapped the oil reserves and is going to cause all kinds of major problems by doing that, and most likely going to have an increase in oil prices that's going to be so high you've never seen this before. Anyway, Gestapo Joe, we also talked about him, same guy, of course, and about his mandates and how he's trying to get it reversed again because he believes that we should be a dictatorship, not a republic. Zoom also fell. And also, we talked about Apple suing the hackers and the opioids and CVS problem. All right, let's talk a little bit more about what's going on. So we're going to talk about some of my favorite stock picks. But first of all, did you guys hit the share button? Did you guys hit the like button? Let me know you like it. Let me know you shared it. And also, of course, you can leave comments on Facebook and Twitter and YouTube and LinkedIn. And I also want to remind you that the show will be moving to 7:30 next Monday as of November 29th, and we'll be broadcasting live on WWDB Radio in Philadelphia as of December 1st. Make sure you join us there and keep this party going. We're looking forward to seeing if all our loyal viewers, like kittens, is going to be there. All right, the market was terrible today, and it started off nicely, and it ended up dumping, and then it went back up. It's crazy. So it was kind of a cool market. We also discussed already the fact that Zoom tumbled on the idea that people are going back to work and will not be using the platform as they work through the pandemic. It's going to be much better for them, much better for the world, whatever. Meta started out at 5 points up and then dropped along with Apple and other tech stocks as the bond rate increased. Look, I got to tell you about the bond rate. Get used to it. The bond rate will continue to rise and the Fed will continue their monetary easing. It's just the way it is. My guess is the bond rate is going to settle between the 2 and 2.25 yield rate. When this happens, everything will settle as well. Look, gold and silver will also rise like they should, and the market will stop reacting to the bond rate the way they have been. The oil stocks also moved up today as they mocked Biden and his dumbass move to use the reserves to lower gas prices. He, on the other hand, blamed the oil companies for the higher prices in his confusing speech today. If you saw his speech today, you got to understand this. They really need to keep this guy just away from the microphone. It's it's so embarrassing. All right, CCL and AAL, my favorites in this market, moved up and then down. They're awesome plays. I'm telling you right now, these are going to be great plays into the new year. I'm also holding some Boeing, and that also rose and dropped today as well. I thought I was going to see some nice action on that, but it didn't move much. Let's talk a little bit about crypto as it moved higher today. So Bitcoin was just under 57,000, and Ether rose about 7% to 4350. Shiba is hardly moving. It's sitting here right around 44 millionth of a cent. And I expect it to go below 40 millionth, and I may even buy more if it hits 32 millionth. I'm still holding Dogecoin, and it's also resting about 23. But I made a play that was probably an accidental play, but my best play so far this month, believe it or not, has been AMP, A-M-P, and it's moving towards record highs, and hopefully it will drop a zero this week. If it drops a zero this week, that will be awesome. Gold and silver also stalled, so nothing really happening there as well. All right, I want to tell you, watch for some buying opportunities tomorrow, and hopefully by Friday you'll actually even make some money. By the way, if you've made some money on the tips discussed in this show, please feel free to leave a comment and let me know about that. And also hit the share button, hit the like button, let me know you like the show, and have an awesome Thanksgiving if I don't talk to you tomorrow. But I'll be here tomorrow, but if you're not watching, don't forget. All right, also real quick, I want to mention that from time to time, I own some of the assets and options discussed in this show, and the opinions discussed in this show is solely mine, and no one has asked me to discuss them. Thank you for watching Money Chat Now. We look forward to your continued support. We will see you here tomorrow at 4:03. Take care.